Have you ever had trouble putting stairs in and getting the stairs to look exactly the way you want? I'm going to have a look at that right now. This is part of my file that I'm teaching today on drawing production. But what I really wanted to look at was stairs. So I'm going to get a stair. This is just a single stair here. This is a general stair. Select that. Let's put that stair into my project. There it is there. I need to rotate this. I'm just going to use my keyboard shortcuts to rotate it around. And I want to stick it here in the corner. Now, one of the things I did like about this stair, is that once you've got a lot of the settings done, if you want to move it, you can actually drag one of those handles from that side and it'll stretch the stair to fit your hole, which I thought was a really cool trick. So I'm just going to zoom in and make sure my stair fits there. So now that stair fits the hole. Well, it should do. Let's just make sure that it does that. Let's bring that across. And there you can see my stair is now fitting the hole exactly. To me, that's a really cool trick, being able to do that. But what's even better is if you set up your template stair. Now you'll notice that there are things about the stair that I'm going to change. For example, that distance there, the arrows, the graphic style, and so on. So this time I'm going to go and grab my stair, and I've already saved my stair. It's here, the ArchonCAD stair. Now you can see that when I double click on that, it doesn't actually grab the stair tool. What it grabs is this one here, the place symbol tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, I'm going to rotate because I want the stair to go that way. Click again, and you'll notice that my arrows are different. You'll notice that my graphics are different. My distance here is different. This is set specifically. Now the idea of using the standard stair is it makes it really quick for you to put in your stair the way you want. There we are. Now I've actually got the stair exactly the right size for this, but so it's why I showed you that trick earlier on. So the idea is that if you go through the stair settings, and one of the first things I do before I do anything with the stair is I go through all the configuration. So this is by layer elevation. I need to actually make sure that I'm doing by layer elevation. So we've got the finished floor of the floor above. Now I can't save that as my symbol because it's a symbol. It doesn't understand how to make that save. So my tread depth is 11 inches, which is what I want. The riser height, that's okay. My stair width, I've got that set already. But one of the other things I jump to straight away is this part here, the 6 inch. And I lock that 6 inch offset, which is half a tread almost. And the reason I lock that is so that when I change the number of risers, I don't have to come back and change my offset here. So to me, this is a really cool trick to set that, lock it, so that you don't have to come back and make changes to it. Then you don't have to worry about all of these settings here because some of them are already locked. So the stair width is locked. This width is locked, if you like. So that's locked. So 3 feet 4 inches, that's locked. These are unlocked, but locking these ones means that if I change this to 9 risers, you can see I don't lose my 6 inches here. So I can have 9 at the start, go up. I could have 8 to start with, and then 7 at the top. And I can play with those until I get them to do what I want, but I don't have to come back and check my offsets. And you'll notice that these lengths don't change other than the risers, number of risers, number of treads, and the landing. So to me, that's a really cool trick to be able to do that. I also have gone through my 2D graphics. I want to include the stair on the upper graphics. I want to have a 5-foot change here. So I might need to change that to 6 feet to make it come around the corner because I changed the number of risers here. And I've also controlled my construction. So I make sure I control my construction. I usually set that to 0 for a concrete slab. Gives me a rather nice looking one. I've got no railing, so they're all turned off. But I've gone through my graphic attributes, and I've actually set these graphic attributes exactly the way I want, and then save this as a symbol so that I don't have to repeat it each time I want to create a stair. So to me, that's a real advantage, and then save that in your library. Now I do need to move the stair because it's set by its origin here, so it's actually gone too far down here. And if I hold down the B key, you can see I can see where to move it to. So I'm going to use my Move by Points tool. I'm going to move it from there, and I'm going to use my snap loop to zoom in and place it where I want. Now you do have to do that because this is the origin of the stair at this bottom tread. And so if you change the treads or if you change the number of risers, you do have to come back and make that adjustment. So I hope you enjoyed that. This was my favorite trick here where you can just go, I want to move that across to that point and I want to close up the well in between. Or I want to bring this across and have it touch that side of the wall. Just simple tricks to make it quick to do your stair design. I hope you enjoyed that. This is the sort of stuff I do in my community. If you want to join my community, I'll put a QR code right here, right now, and you'll be able to see my QR code and join my community. Thanks for watching.